USS Point Cruz, CVE-119, was a commencement Bay-class escort carrier of the United States Navy, originally named Trocadero Bay and renamed on June 5, 1944, in honor of Point Cruz, a suburb of Honiara with historical significance during the Guadalcanal Campaign. She was laid down on December 4, 1944, at Todd Pacific Shipyards Incorporated in Tacoma, Washington, and launched on May 18, 1945, with sponsorship from Mrs. Earl R. DeLong. Point Cruz was commissioned on October 16, 1945. After her acceptance and shakedown, Point Cruz conducted pilot qualifications off the West Coast from October 1945 to March 1946. Following this, she transported aircraft to forward bases in the Western Pacific. On March 3, 1947, the carrier entered Puget Sound Naval Shipyard for inactivation, and she was decommissioned on June 30, 1947, entering the Pacific Reserve Fleet in Bremerton, Washington. Point Cruz was recommissioned on July 26, 1951, after the outbreak of the Korean War. In 1953, Point Cruz underwent modifications to be used as an anti-submarine warfare hunter-killer group carrier. She was based at Sasebo, Japan, and patrolled the Korean coast. After the armistice, she served as a base for a helicopter squadron during Operation Platform. In August 1955, Point Cruz deployed with the 7th Fleet as the flagship of Carrier Division 15. The carrier returned to the United States and commenced inactivation at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in February 1956. She was decommissioned on August 31, 1956, placed in the Bremerton Group of the Pacific Reserve Fleet, and redesignated as an aircraft transport, AKV-19, on May 17, 1957. Point Cruz was reactivated in August 1965, placed under the operational control of the Military Sea Transportation Service, MSTS, and designated USNS Point Cruz, TAKV-19, in September 1965. She provided logistical support for American forces in Southeast Asia. The ship was placed out of service on October 16, 1969, struck from the Navy list on September 15, 1970, and sold for scrap in 1971.